Vulnerability fosters good emotions and mental health. Vulnerability also is a sign of courage. We become more resilient and brave when we embrace who we truly are and what we are feeling. The Vulnerable Scientist podcast is a space for scientists who are honest and authentic or are working towards it. Join the vulnerable space by either sending an audio using the link on the show notes talking about your highs and lows as a scientist, or by contacting Sarah Nyakeri, aka New Biochemist, to schedule a chat. The Vulnerable Scientist podcast benefits both the listener and the one sharing. You can now rate this podcast on Spotify or put a review on Apple Podcasts or any other listening platform with a rating button. And to share your thoughts, feel free to send an audio message using the audio link, either using your name or anonymously, to be published on the following episodes of the Vulnerable Scientist podcasts. Are you wondering what I use to upload and store my website spaces? Host Pinnacle. I've been using it for over 2 years right now and it has never disappointed me. So host your website today using Host Pinnacle, cheap and affordable and reliable services. To start experiencing Host Pinnacle goodness, click on the link on the show notes and you will not regret your decision. I don't know. Do you want to speak about any laws that you've experienced that you've not mentioned? Because I think you've mentioned some of the exciting, the highs. I'm just wondering, are there any?
Yes, there are laws. One of the biggest laws that I've experienced was a setback when my mother passed away. In 2009, when I was just selected to start Form 1, second term, my mom passed away after she had a long sickness. It started way when I was a standard 8. That's when she started suffering. So yeah, she passed on when I was in Form 1. That was a setback because I lost a big mentor. Yeah, I was so, okay, as boys generally in society, we're closer to moms than our fathers.
Yeah.
So to me, that was a blow because I would say between the two parents, I was so close to my mom. She was the one telling me a lot of things, advising me so much on school. Yeah, so when she passed on, that was like a very big setback for me. But I didn't lose it all. I had to stay courage because she taught me a lot of things. Like you reach a lifetime in life whereby things will be hard. You'll be grown up. You'll be like us. We are hustling every day for you because as a kid you cannot see when everything is brought on the table. There's food in the evening. You are at a playground. You know, in the evening there's beans. I'm going to eat nice beans. Tomorrow we have chicken in the house. But you are not involved in the struggle that brings that food on the table. So your life is okay. Yeah, but now she was telling me that will come a time where you have to be there. Now I'm independent now. Of course, I'm not fully independent of my dad. I'm not yet married. Yeah, I still regard them as when I go home, I'm going home. But now here I stay alone. So I make my own choices. So that was number one, a big setback. That I would say personal life. That it really it had a lot of side effects afterwards. A lot of things changed at home. You know, that relationship with the female side was not that, especially where my mom was coming from, the relatives from my mom's side. You know, some of them, you know, some uncles started looking at us like we're no longer that close anymore. Yeah, so it brought a lot of things. Yeah, a lot of things. Like the whole decade, I kept on, like from 2009 up to somewhere around 20, before, even up to when I graduated. Yeah, I felt absence. Because I remember 2006, when I had scored number 1 in my standard 6 exams. She told me one of the days I want to fly in an aeroplane and visit you where you are. I didn't know that one day I'll fly in an aeroplane and be in a far country. Like here I'm in Kenya, she would have come to see me where I am. Yeah, but I fulfilled that dream way ahead, like 16 years after that. Yeah, of going away in an aeroplane. Yeah, she did taught me a lot. She told me, hey, actually, it was like she was predicting. One day I remember in Rumpi, there was one son of a guy who was well to do. He was studying in US. That time, 2003, 4, when you hear people are going to South Africa, US, like, yeah, but she told me, one day it's going to be you. You'll not be in Malawi. You'll be somewhere far. As if she knew, like, yeah, but she was a parent who was having high hopes for me. Yeah, so I think the biggest challenge that I've had, biggest low in my life was passing on 2009. Yeah, it really demoralized things, because even up to today, when we are together as a family, we are 4, by the way. So which means we are 3 kids. I'm the firstborn, Alice, my sister, the secondborn, and Samson, the lastborn. Alice is now in 3rd year doing public health. Samson has just finished from 4. Plus my dad, like 4 people. So we are only 4 people in the house. Whenever we meet together, I just still feel her absence. Like someone's really missing here. It would have been nice having her around. She was a very, I would say, community woman. The absence is not only felt in our house, but even in the community where we stay. People really miss her. So, I a bit look like her because I a bit resembled her somehow. My sister and my brother resembled more my dad. So whenever I go around, they're like, you remind us about your mother. Each time I go to visit my grandpa, he almost every time I see him, he sheds tears. Remembering her daughter. He sees her daughter through me. Yeah. She was the only, they were born 6 girls in their family. She was a twin sister. They were twins. She was the 3rd born. So the other twin sister passed on with the child. Yeah, because of the health issues, I think. So she was the only surviving twin out of that pair. And she was the favorite daughter out of all. So whenever I'm around, he sees me. He sees her. Yeah, so I'd say the biggest setback was her. It affected a lot of things psychologically. Yeah, but it didn't affect my academic. Actually, it boosted my academic. Because I remember when she passed on, I'd never had like above number 5 in my class. It was been number 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because what kept me driving was, I need to work hard in life. That's what she should have always wanted, to work hard. Yeah, I dedicated my first degree to her. I wrote my own thesis for my undergraduate to my late mother. Yeah, because, wow. Yeah, and also the first journey out of Malawi to her. Because she talked about flying in a plane and getting the degree. Sure. So, yeah, that was the biggest setback. These other things came in were as seasonal. Maybe failing exams at some point. That's a low. I would say maybe lacking of motivation at some of the things. But I think the biggest low that I can always mention at any stage was the passing on of my mother. That is the honest low that I've had. But the rest, it has been just God on my side. I wouldn't, if I try to compare my journey with other people, I wouldn't say mine was the worst. People try to exaggerate by justifying how their life was. My life has never been that worse. I'm coming from a business background. My dad is into business. So he was able, together with my mom, to provide for us. Yeah, so we didn't survive. So we didn't see any famine or what. Yeah, so my journey has been my parents, God, plus myself. Hardworking of myself. Yeah, so it's just because the core combination has been nice. So, yeah, to be honest, where I am today, yeah, a combination of the three: God, my dad, and myself. Yeah, so it has not been that extremely hard. It has been challenging, yes, but not extremely hard. No.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So what about in your research career or your career in general?
Oh, yeah. So research career, one of the challenges, I think it was to do with the people who have been around me, especially before I came here. People didn't understand what I was up to, especially when I started my interest in, because people expected, like, I just focus in the class, memorize those bonds, you finish, you start injecting things out there. Why are you so interested in research? Come on. Because, Malawi, in terms of research-wise, we're way back. So it's just a general mentality. We are more focused in just treating, those things. But we're not focused on veterinary research or research that will improve veterinary service. Something like that. So it was the people that I had around. So some of them would demoralize me. Anyway, you went to Kenya for 3 months. There's just an internship to expose you, but I do not do anything down here. Something like that. So people, So more challenging, I think, was people that I had around. So that was like a bit of a setback. But I was never pushed down because I know what I saw here in Kenya. Especially when I came as an intern. I saw something that never pushed me back. I was focused from that time. No one was going to push me back. So, like, when I went back home, like, when we were coming from UK, when we arrived in Malawi, my friends knew I'm going to be there for like 2-3 days and coming back here. One of them said the statement, so you're going to be in Kenya doing research, you want to be a professor or what? So what? Instead of being here, something like that, just to pull me down, because I was the first out of the whole class getting a scholarship, first scholarship. So that thing to them, I was like, in my head, I was like, they don't know what I saw. They don't know what I saw in Kenya and Iri. They don't know. I know what I saw in Iri, and I'm never going to be turned back by anyone. I want to be a researcher. I want to be a scientist. I'm never going to be turned by anyone, because I know what I saw here, and it reflected better of the problems which are down there. More people are getting now opened up now. Like, I think we need to do something. We are failing to make national decisions properly. Let's say Rift Valley. We don't know that there is Rift Valley in Malawi, but we know that Rift Valley starts in Jordan up there. This disease in each and every country, that almost all the countries that have the Rift Valley. Malawi is part of the Rift Valley, but we don't know that we have Rift Valley disease. We don't know. We just know that it must be here, but we don't know.
As in, there are no studies that have been conducted.
No. Google. You believe you me. If you find a study, it will be a hospital, maybe someone they did a test and they did a small cohort, but there has never been a surveillance study or something just to analyze what's going on down there. It will make far more better decisions, because the symptoms for Rift Valley are similar for malaria. So you'll be treated for malaria, and what are we bringing? Antimicrobial resistance. You see? So there are a lot of multiple problems that can come in without knowing what is going on. So that is the direction which I wanted to take. So no one can turn me around and tell me, no, be here, inject pigs, and your life ends here. No one can tell me that, because I know what I saw in research. So apart from that, I think that's the only setback, and maybe some personal weaknesses, like maybe something is new, having hard time understanding it, something like that. But those are small things, because that's what research is all about. Because research is all about breaking new grounds. Yes. But the biggest challenge was before I came here. But here, it has also been high. The people I work with, I tell you, I have one of the best supervisors in here. Nicholas, I have one of the best supervisors in here. He has always been motivative, highly encouraging, even the team I work with. Very motivative, very hardworking. And I enjoy working, and I'm at peace. And you see me putting my earsets in the lab, enjoying working under the hood. I'm at peace. I know where I'm going. So up here in Iri, it has always been encouraging. No wonder the same courage that I had, the same encouragement that I got from these guys when I came as an intern, is what made me like I
think we should also talk about the environment. How the environment is very important.
Very true. The environment is very important. So the environment that I was outside, that people don't know about all these things. It's like you go to someone that has never been married and you're asking about marriage. How can I survive in marriage? What is he going to tell you?
Nothing.
That to him, that is the world. But someone who has been married maybe for 50 years or 20 years, you advise you better. Yeah, someone who doesn't know an area cannot tell you. So if someone was in Malawi, okay, let's say it's one of those old vets that started maybe in Nairobi, went back home as a state vet. Yeah, so to them they just diagnose and treat, or sometimes just treat empirically. They just injecting, you're not even sure. To them it will not matter, because to him that's the life. But for me, I'm coming in as a fresh person and I have a new idea and I got some more ideas from this side, different environment. I'll think different. So when I go back and I tell them this is the direction that I want to take. Some will understand, yes, some will not understand. Yeah, some will be like, you're just wasting time, man. Just focus on here. We'll just be injecting dogs here and that's all. Yeah, sure. So environment plays a role. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Is there a high
I have a friend in IDRC. IDRC is International Development Research Center. It's one of the donors for most projects. No funders for projects in Iri. I have a friend there. It's Dr. Victor Mbao. He's from Zambia, but he works here. He told me Iri is one of the good stepping stone for you. Yes. Yeah, so you were asking.
Yeah, that's a good addition. Is there a high that you hadn't mentioned that you would like to mention?
A high as just life or research?
Anything that you want to talk about, because it affects you as a person.
Oh yes.
Whatever we do outside or whatever happens in our lives or whatever happens, it affects us directly in what we do every single day.
Okay.
It's part of us. It's part of who we are as scientists.
Yeah. So another high that has been so. All right, that I've not mentioned. I think most of them I've mentioned. Another high. Let's say back in college, undergraduate, I was awarded in third year, I was awarded the best student for the faculty. Yeah, that's one of the highs that now took. Okay, of course, that time I'd not yet. I've just finished that attachment. I Center for Tick and Bone Diseases. So of course they're not related, but it was a high that boosted my education wise. Yeah. So another maybe that's something that I really say I did well, and it brought joy to me and the people around me. Yeah, of course. That's another high that I celebrated, but not more than the way I celebrated when I first came to Kenya, when I went to UK, when I got the graduate fellowship. Yeah, when I went to Mombasa, when I went to Kisumu. Yeah, these are the highs that are even pinpoint. When you just sit down, I still remember all those highs. But hey, that day, the Grand Challenge, yes, those are the things that I remember. Like, yeah, these others have been a lot of them, but just small things per day. Yeah, sure, but yeah.
Okay, Amos, this is a very good conversation. I really loved it.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, is there anything that you'd like to put out there, for someone listening to this?
Oh yes. Let me say that we are people coming from different backgrounds. But what motivates us, what motivates all of us is success. We want to succeed in everything, whether in business, whether in school. Yeah, we have these big dreams. I want to buy a car. I want to do this. I want to do this. There are several factors that play in role, and you have to take note of it. Number one is yourself. Yeah, you put in an effort, you work hard, motivative, what. Number two is your circle, people around you, the environment. To be honest, people around me have also played a very big role, a very huge role.
Do you want to mention those people that have influenced you? Yeah,
so much. I'll start with my inner circle. My inner circle, of course, some people may be disappointed. Yeah, okay. My inner circle, number one, my family, my dad, and my siblings.
What's his name?
Okay, my dad, Washington Kalopa Mhone. Yeah, that's my dad. Number one, the mentor of all. Yeah, that's the biggest mentor that I have. He always encourages me about hard working. Yeah, even till today. He sent me a message this morning. How is Nairobi? Keep on working hard. Fight for what you want. You will get it. Yeah, my siblings have been by my side all this time. Cheering me up. Yeah, also encouraging them to work hard, but their presence is more than enough for me. Number one, that is my biological family. Number two, my family that I have here in Iri, and which is my research group. Those people, I tell you, have been my rock. You know, there was a time I got sick. They took care of me. I should say in everything. We go out together, we play together, we do research together. Things get tough, we are together. Yeah, that is my immediate family that I have here. Yeah, so that is like an inner circle, kind of. And friends in Iri, people like Sarah and others in Iri. That is another circle. Yeah. So take a look at this circle and make sure that you pull together people of different characters. I'm not saying you should have only church people around. Even those people you regard as these are worse people, drunkards, what, they should be part of your circle. I'm not saying you should be taking what they do, no. But in one or the other, they will advise you based on what they saw at some point. In each show, there's a saying we say, "Wamisala na unangondo." A madman saw war and warned the others. A madman is a madman, he cannot tell you. But there's a story behind it to say, even the people you regard as these are the worst people in society, they will give you a tip one day. For example, you may want to get a girlfriend, maybe from your area. Those people who drink, they see her like she's a prostitute, what, they'll say, take care. That woman is like this, we see her every day. But that guy is a drunkard. You're not a drunkard yourself, huh? But they have seen something in there. Have friends at all levels, yeah? Guards. Like I told you, me, I have friends everywhere. Matatu drivers. People in Uber business. Yeah, people are not in Iri. I have friends, students, villagers. I have friends at every level. And take a look at that circle. That is number two, like the environment. So the environment can have several factors. Number three, the same environment, position yourself properly and the things will fall on you. Position yourself properly in such a way that make network. Yeah, not only, but network yourself. Network, please, it's really important. You know, as youths, life is changing. We want money, we want happiness, we want what? There's some friendships that you may not benefit right away. Like myself, I keep on networking. I have people in FAO, WHO, USAID, in IRI, in government, in several that are related to my field, right? And even others that are not in my field, that the fields that I want to explore. I keep those networks. I'm not benefiting anything from them, but I just know them. We chat, we what? Keep that network and keep on expanding it. Because opportunities, some of them will come from these networks. These are the people sometimes saying, there's a PhD here, I saw. Or there's a position here, I feel like you fit. And then you get it. So network is very important. So yourself, meaning hardworking, what? The environment. They say friends that you have. And also the network, because friends and network, these are two different things. Network is more career. Circle is more of the people you live day-to-day life. Yeah, so that is something that I really wanted to give out. That it's really important as far as career is concerned, as far as life is concerned. And then maybe the other thing might be, I think these are the main, because on yourself, which means I've encompassed everything, you need to keep focused, hardworking, what, that is yourself. Build yourself. Keep on building yourself. Yeah, recently I was listening to, actually there's, tonight there's a program. There's one of the, I say rich people in Malawi. Simbi Pete is one of the richest people in Malawi. He has, he's in engineering, different companies, construction, what. So there was a time they were doing an interview with him. He mentioned one quote that really interested me. He said, your current knowledge is fluid. It's not innate. You have to keep on what? Advancing it. Yeah. Whatever you know now will not be the same of what you know in 10 years. Yeah. Whatever is present now will be different from. Yeah. Such that you need to keep on. Because what will happen is, when you are behind society, that your friends are advancing, you are still here. You will be left behind. Yeah. you'll be swallowed by society.
Yeah.
For example, give example. I'm not saying it's a good one, but I'll give example. When people have been to prison, maybe for 5 years, he will come out of prison with the mentality of that time when he was going in. That is his world. When he goes to society, he will take time to adapt because now the places have changed, new houses have been constructed, people are doing good new things, what. So, yeah, so you take time to adapt yourself. Yeah. So for you to stay with whatever is happening currently, keep on advancing whatever yourself, build yourself, read a lot of things. And what I would advise, especially students out there, is keep on exploring. Even if you are, let's say I'm a vet, I don't have to know what is happening in finance. I have to. I'm not saying you should go deep and say go and do accounting. No, just know the basics of what is happening in the other fields. You have a car. Know how to remove a tire. That is engineering. Know how to fix a tap. Yeah. Know how to buy electricity. Know how a cell phone operates.
Don't be closed on your field.
No. Be open-minded. Grow.
Skills on different things.
Yes. Yeah. That is another thing that I would say. So all this is yourself, self-development. Read a lot. Keep on working hard in what you're doing. Whatever. It's so important. There's no field which is superior. Yeah, and keep on looking for, be hungry for more information. Yeah, keep on advancing yourself. Keep on feeding information within the brain. You have to grow in size, but also grow up in mind. That's what will make you to grow. And apart from yourself, your surrounding. Your surrounding meaning the circle that you have. Check it. That is the most important thing. Check. If there are only pastors in that circle, it's not good. If there are only drunkards in that circle, it's not good. If there are only people of your level, amateurs only, it's also not good. If you notice those people whose circle is only their level, or you find that you are a very confused person, if you have to have an assorted circle. I'm not saying you should change character and become a bad person, no, but assort that circle. Include each and every people for me. Yes, yeah. That is how you are going to live, and also network. Your career, network. Keep on networking. Okay. Yeah. So I think that is the thing that I would say out there. The rest, you get. We say sky is not the limit. Yeah, there's no limit. You can do whatever you want to do, but you can only do that when these two factors have checked: yourself and the environment, because this go hand in hand. Yeah. You can be a very brilliant person, but if you don't network, you will still be stuck. You can be very brilliant and good at reading, building up yourself, but if your circle is not okay, this circle will influence you. Yeah. So all the choices we make, it's always influence. People claim, I'm an introvert. I don't talk to people. My circle is what? I don't care about whoever is not around. I tell you one way or the other. The circle is going to influence what decision you will do at one point. So the circle matters as well. Check it. Check it.
Okay, Amos.
Sure.
We've had a very long conversation.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Actually, to me, it was like going back in memory lane, and it looks like yesterday. I like this song by a Zambian artist. He's called Dave. He passed on last year. Yeah, he was singing like he was saying, sometimes going back in memory lane, it looks like yesterday. Those things that had deep meaning on your life, you even see them in your imagination. And I know when I was talking about the first plane, I still remember I was sitting this side. When going to UK, I was sitting this part of the plane. A lady came and talked to me. Sir, are you okay? Do you need some juice? I was like, wow. I sometimes when I'm alone, I even speak in my local language. Like, to show that they're excited. Yeah. So going back in memory lane, it was like yesterday. All those things I was explained looks like yesterday. It looks like last year. I feel like in Mombasa, when Kisumu, when you're speaking, because those things really had an impact on me. Yeah. So I'm a happy person, to be honest. I'm happy where I am today, and I'm looking forward to more years of happiness. That's what I said on my birthday. I wrote like 2 more years of happiness and success. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Any last words? Anything that? How do you feel after having this long conversation?
Well, I feel good. I feel relieved. I feel like my journey is being shaped. My life, it has been ups and downs. Some things are coming through. Yeah, like I said before, I still remember those words that director said. You always be lucky in life. And I'm really lucky. I'm really lucky to be here. I never imagined I'd be in Kenya one day. I never imagined I'd go to UK one day. I visited like how many countries in 1 year? I was in UK, I was in Ethiopia, I was in Malawi, I was in Tanzania, yeah, Kenya. Yeah, so, yeah, like several countries in 1 year. So that was like luck, like the name was really manifesting itself. Yeah, so, wow, it's wonderful. But foremost and everything, I thank God for He has brought me this far. Yeah, because there are some moments I could even see that God, this is God's hand. Yeah, sometimes you even feel that something is happening to you that you have, without your knowledge. Something good is happening. You go this place, find that everything has been arranged already. You are worried about this problem. It was solved last week. You didn't know. You have to show that there's that invisible hand that is always there. So first and foremost, God has been there, and I always praise Him for everything. No wonder whenever it's a birthday or an achievement, whether I'll post a status on something big, I'll just put glory to God. Yeah, because it has been an interesting journey, to be honest. It has been an interesting journey. There've been some hiccups here and there because that's how life is, but it's been an interesting journey. So I'm a very happy man. I'm a very happy person. Sometimes when I walk, I have in my head says, listen to music, I just smile. I remember looking at whatever is happening around. I'm like, this is powerful. Huh? I'm here. This is amazing. Yeah, sure. So, yeah, everything around is just amazing. Yeah, I don't even have much ways to explain it, but I'm just happy. I'm just a happy person. To be honest, I'm a happy person. I'm really happy things are going this way. Yeah. If I'm really happy. And one thing that I've loved here in Kenya is interacting with friends at another level. Going out, partying. I never used to do that when I was... Maybe it's because of time, of course. You grow. But it's something which I've learned to embrace so much. Especially that companionship. Not necessarily what I'm going to do, whether it's eating or drinking or doing what. But that fellowship that we're having with friends together. Being together, chatting, I embrace that so much. No wonder... Even lunchtime, I make sure I'm with some people there. We are discussing whether Kenyan politics. What? Yeah, so... yeah, so... I'm not a loner. I'm not an introvert. Huh? I hate being alone. Yeah, so I prefer... Except when I want to do something that is too personal, that I really want to be alone. Yes, but most of the times I'm with people. Yeah, so I love being around. If it is in the lab, I'm alone, I'll call Josiah. Josiah, I'll bring your computer, play music here. Can you help me? Or you start cracking jokes. Or sometimes they're in the lab working with Linda. I'm alone in the office. I go to the lab and start joking there, talking, making noise there. Because I love being around people. Once someone said in Iri, was it Tiambo? Yeah, he said, I see you one of the very few happy people. Every time I see you are smiling, you are what? Yeah, in the gym, it was my gym instructor, Maria. The other time she said, actually, you make me happy every morning. Like when I come in the morning, I'm running on the treadmill, I'm lifting weights, I'm chatting with them. We are talking. I'm not there for serious business. Like, I'm here to work out. I'm here with my goals. I want to get slim in 1 month. No, I chat with them. I love being around people, chatting. Yeah, even when I go back home, even back in the community, like in Rumbi. Now it's a different place. The people I knew by then, most of them are out. Others passed on. Others moved out. They are working elsewhere. Yeah, so it's totally different environment. There are very few friends who are still there that we grew together. But even with the new people, I actually made a lot of friends even last December. I chat with people. I prefer watching football with people somewhere than in the house I'm alone. Yeah. No wonder when I'm here, I prefer going to Nkari. And just go there, watch football other than in my house. Yeah. So I love being around people. I love talking. We chat about all sorts of things. We talk about politics. We talk about science. We talk about food. We talk about what? Anything. Health. As long as we're chatting.
Do you want to start your own podcast? Start with some simple gear that you already have and a quiet space. Simple gear includes a microphone, editing software, and host of your podcast. Simple microphones include the ones on your phones and computers, or a simple recorder, which you can upgrade later. For the editing software, I use Audacity, which is free and simple to use. Buzzsprout, which over 1,000 other fellow podcasters like me use, is one of the podcast hosting providers you can use. Buzzsprout has helped me link my show on every major podcast platform. With the endless number and regularly updated tutorials and good customer service support Buzzsprout offers, my podcasting journey has been made easy. Following the link in the show notes, let Buzzsprout know we sent you, gets you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan, and helps support our show.